I'm your host Mike St. Clair with Viper R.I.P. and today I'm going to show you how to modify your infrared light to run longer and stronger by changing out its power supply to something more versatile. The light we're going to be modifying is the Sima Sl-20IR. If you're a paranormal investigator or record a lot of night vision video or take a lot of night vision photos, then you may already be familiar with this or possibly even own one. But if not, I've created a review on this product a while back, and I'll include a link to that in the description. So after you watch this video, make sure to check out the Sima Sl-20IR review, and if you like what you see, subscribe. It's free. The Sima Sl-20IR is one of my favorite infrared lights for several reasons. It's small and compact. It's very bright. These 36 LEDs will brighten up pretty much any size room. You also have the option of attaching multiple lights together for an even wider light source, and you can connect pretty much as many of those as you would like. Definitely a fantastic light. It runs about $35 or $40, so if you don't have one of these, I recommend getting one. Now, there's a little setback. These lights take about 3 hours to recharge, and they're only going to run for about 45 minutes. So if you plan on recording any more than 45 minutes worth of video, you're going to have a problem. At that point, you have two choices. You can either fork out $40 on another light, so you have an hour and a half worth of time, or you can use my modification. And with that being said, let's check that out right now. This is what the Sima Sl-20IR looks like. This version has already been modified. We've attached a holder for 3 AAA batteries, and we're going to use that to replace the 3.7 volt battery that is in the light before it's modified. Now, as we all know, 3 AAA batteries at 1.5 volts apiece are going to be 4.5 volts. So instead of using the alkaline batteries, we're going to be using a rechargeable battery, which is 1.2 volts. So we're going to be putting 3.6 volts to the light itself, which is right up there with the 3.7 volts, so it should power it perfectly. I've seen people do this and use 3 regular AAA batteries, which is putting way too much power to the light, and you don't want to do that because you could burn the light out and possibly burn yourself. I've also seen people do something similar to this, and instead of using 3, they use 2, but at the same time you're only pushing 3 volts, and it requires 3.7 to run properly. It'll work, but it won't be as bright. So we're going to be using 3 AAA batteries that are rechargeable, so we've got 3.6 volts going to it. Now, the first thing we got to do is take this thing apart. Now, I've already taken some of the screws out to make this go a little bit quicker, but you need a really small screwdriver to get in there and get those 4 screws out. There's one in each corner. There's one. And there's the other. Now, I've got this battery pack just velcroed to the back of this because there's no way to get this battery out of here and change this out during an investigation. It's just not possible, and it's not practical. So we're going to make that easier with our setup, where you can actually load batteries into the light while you're in the field using it fairly quickly, and you can do this as many times as you need or as much as you have battery power. Alright, we're going to flip this over, and this front piece is going to come off. We're going to put this to the side. Then your little clear cover or your red cover is going to come off. Now, I've seen people modifying these and taking these off to where that's all you see because running 3 volts to it isn't bright enough. But we're going to take this off, and we're going to pull this piece out. Now, every time I do one of these, I always forget to put this piece back in for some reason, so make sure you don't do that. Next, we're going to take our screwdriver and we're going to pry this silver piece out. This is our reflector. And there are going to be 3 more screws in here, which I've already taken out to make this project go a little faster. But there's going to be a screw right here, a screw right here, and a screw right here holding this in. After we've taken those screws out, we're going to gently very gently pry the lights out. And when we open that up, as you can see, we already have this modified, but this was once in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to snip these wires as close to the battery as you can. If you want to reuse this battery for something else, you may want to leave just a little bit of extra room there, but you want to cut this long enough so that you have something to work with. Next thing you're going to do is take a small drill and drill a hole right in the side. Now I recommend drilling this on the right side, because when we run our infrared lights and we connect extras to it, we're usually not going to connect on this inside piece here, so it's not going to be very noticeable, and it's going to be really clean. So drill your hole right there. Next, you're gonna take your battery pack holder and you're going to feed your wires through, and then you're going to connect the 2 wires from this to the 2 wires of your battery holder. And I recommend soldering them if you have a soldering iron. If not, you can tape them. It should work fine as well, but just make sure you do a good job of it. And even after you've soldered, make sure that you tape this up, because you don't want these wires touching and shorting out your light. After we've soldered those together and taped them back up, there's no need for this battery anymore for this device. And also, once you do this, you're not going to be able to charge your batteries inside the unit, so don't try to plug that up and do it. You could fry your batteries and possibly cause a fire or something like that and mess your light up. You don't want to do that. The next step is to put this back together. Now, you need to make sure that your switch is lined up with the slot that your switch goes in, and you want to make sure that your plug is lined up with the plug slot. So you're going to move this around a little bit to where you get it in the right spot. I'm going to push it in and make sure it is poking through enough to where you can actually flip that light on and off. Next thing we're going to do is flip it over, and we need to put our screws back in. We're going to put that in and then these 2 in, but to save time, we're not going to do that. The next step is to take your little reflective surface and you're going to stick that on there just like so. Of course, when you put yours back together, you want to put your screws in it, but we're just doing this to save time. Now, you remember this guy? Got to make sure to put that back in there, because I tend to forget all the time, and if you don't have that in there, you're not going to be able to use your light on a tripod. So we're going to stick that there. Our red cover is going to go on next, and then on top of that, it's going to be the black cover. And there's a little lip here that you got to make sure that goes here to the bottom, otherwise it won't fit in there properly. And then you're going to put your screws back in, put all 4 of them, make sure they're snug. And to save time, we're not going to do that. We're going to insert our batteries, 3 AAA rechargeable batteries. Now, these batteries are going to run, depending upon what kind you get in the milliamp, anywhere from an hour to up to 2 hours of bright light. So, as opposed to your 45 minutes you were getting, you're going to be getting an hour to 2 hours of light, and you're going to easily be able to switch those out. And let's turn it on and make sure it works. And there it is. Now these batteries are kind of dead, so it's going to be hard to see. So I'm going to flip the night vision feature on real quick. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Well, there it is, guys, the Sima Sl-20 infrared light modification. I want to thank you for watching our videos and supporting our efforts. Make sure to comment, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to share these videos with your friends, because there's a lot of useful information, from Ghost Hunting 101 to budget ghost hunting solutions to evidence, how to investigate, and pretty much everything paranormal. So if you like what you see, again, subscribe. It's free.